Hello, everyone. This is the Weird World Podcast. I'm Dean.
And I'm Carrie.
Carrie's going to bring us a weird bit. Yep. Quick hitter here, peoples. Go.
Quick hitter?
Let's do it, man.
We're going to talk about a 49-year-old German man.
Okay.
Named Erwin Kreutz.
Right.
1977, early October, as a matter of fact, he decided to take a little trek to the old United States.
77?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Super excited about it. Wanted to go to San Francisco. So he took World Airways charter flight.
World Airways.
From West Germany.
Yes.
Because that was a thing back then. To San Francisco. But they landed at Bangor International Airport to refuel and let passengers get out, and they had to clear customs there.
Bangor, Maine.
Correct. Bangor, Maine.
Okay. Just a quick refuel and get right back in the air kind of thing? Same plane?
Yep. Well, they had to clear customs.
Oh.
So, probably not all that quick. Erwin was a Bavarian brewery worker. He had only left Germany one time before in his entire life.
And that was just like to Belgium.
That was one day to Switzerland.
Okay, I was close.
Mm-hmm. But he'd seen San Francisco on TV and decided that's where he wanted to visit.
Had he seen Carl Malden and Richard Hatch in the streets of San Francisco?
I don't think so.
Damn it. Had he seen other shows that took place in San Francisco back then? I don't know.
It was probably like a travel log or something, like a travel show. But anyway, the crew of the plane was changing in Bangor, Maine. And so there was a stewardess, which is what they called flight attendants back in the 70s.
Nice catch, by the way, Care.
She had, spoken German because she was coming from Germany. And she had kind of gotten to know him on the flight. And so he was a pleasant passenger. And he had fallen asleep. So she, touched him on the arm to wake him up and to wish him have a great, pleasant stay in San Francisco because she wasn't going to see him again. Well, he just woke up, so he was a little bit tired and groggy, and I guess he didn't hear.
Or he misunderstood that. Have a pleasant time in San Francisco.
Yes, yeah. And then he didn't hear the earlier announcement by the pilots that all the passengers were getting off in Bangor just on a brief stopover on their way to California.
I think we know where this is going.
So he gets off, goes through the customs baggage checkpoint, gets his baggage, walks straight out of the terminal, hails a cab, and he gets in the back of the cab and uses one of the few words in English that he knows, and he says, sleep.
Oh. So, I was going to say prostitute was one of the ones, but no. Okay. Sleep. Back then, they said prostitute. This is before sex worker had been invented.
Sure, they did.
They don't. Well, okay, it might have been worse, actually.
So the cab driver takes him to a hotel. Erwin thinks he's in San Francisco.
In Bangor, Maine.
Yep.
I mean, I know you've never been to San Francisco, but it's a city. Bangor, Maine is a city, but it's not San Francisco. What's the highest building in Bangor, Maine? I'm going to say like 4 stories.
Also don't know what time of day it is. Could be dark,
It's 3 a.m., sister.
So anyway, he checks into the hotel.
Isn't that the opposite of what you fear when you go to sleep on vehicles that you're not in control of? You don't think I'm like on a train or something like that. You don't think I'm going to wind up early and get off before. You're terrified.
You're going to miss it.
In this case, I'm terrified if I fall asleep, I'm going to wind up in Shanghai after it landed and lit again from San Francisco, but not you're 3,000 miles too early.
Well, he wandered around Bangor, Maine for a few days.
All the while thinking, yes, this seems like San Francisco.
Admiring the architecture and the ambiance.
Okay.
For instance, the Joshua Chamberlain Bridge that linked Bangor with Brewer, I think across the Penobscot River or something like that.
Splendid image of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Didn't look exactly like the Golden Gate Bridge, but, he thought, maybe I'm in a suburb of San Francisco. Okay. I'm not in downtown San Francisco.
That's a little more reasonable.
Because lots of
times... What's his name again? Jan?
Erwin.
Because,
lots of times airports are not in
that's
the
true.
Downtown of the city, obviously.
Ireland's airport is like barely in Ireland, and Dublin's airport is way out, and of course Denver's airport is famously 20 miles outside the city. But they assume it'll be right on the edge of the city in the next 30 years or so.
And he doesn't really know what San Francisco is supposed to look like. And his plan and what he wanted to see was the real United States and the working class people in the
Yeah,
United
good for
States.
him. So he went to San Francisco. Makes perfect
Yeah.
sense. Even in 77, that's a little more true than it is today, where it's not a whole lot of working
Yeah.
class people in San
Well.
Francisco. You can't afford to live there. But
And he could see hills and water. So,
Okay.
he
Done.
knew those things were in San Francisco.
I'm on a peninsula.
He also knew he really wanted to see Chinatown, but couldn't find a whole Chinatown. He did find a Chinese restaurant,
Same thing.
and he went there to eat, and he had to order just by pointing at the food that he wanted.
That's still true for most Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Was the Chinese restaurant named Chinatown? Because if so, that could make the cabbies like, okay, no,
I don't
know
think
what that is.
so. He wasn't able to find, the iconic landmarks that he was looking for that he had
not.
seen in photos.
Where is Alcatraz? We'll take you to a prison.
So again, he assumed, well, I must be outside the city. And, I think distances are greater in the United States, between
yeah.
things than they are in Europe.
Quite a bit.
So after he had been in Bangor for about 3 days, he asked a taxi driver to just take him to downtown San Francisco
The cabbie just said, okay.
as best
Show
he
me the money.
could. The driver explained would be a very expensive, about 3,000 mile one-way fare. And that's when Erwin finally just figured out, ooh, I don't think I'm in
Took
California.
him 3 days to figure out he was not in San Francisco
Yep.
while in Bangor. Okay.
Also realized, how the heck am I going to meet up with my return flight to get back to Germany?
That's a little scary.
Because they're departing out of California.
Well, maybe they're going to refuel in Bangor also. Who knows? I
Maybe,
hope so.
maybe not. But I'm not sure he knows how to get in touch with anybody to
No.
figure that out.
Yeah, that would be terrifying.
And at this time, the hotel he's staying at asks him to vacate his room because parents' weekend for the university nearby is coming up and all the rooms are booked.
The University of Maine at Bangor? I have no idea if that's a thing. It
I don't
probably
know.
isn't.
Well, he had met somebody who understood a bit of German and not enough to really help a whole lot. So that person got him in touch with a German-speaking restaurant owner and his wife, Kenneth and Gertrude Romine. They had a German restaurant in nearby town called Old Town.
They serve streusel and venison. Delish.
Well, so anyway, they were going to try to help him figure out what to do. And they explained to him that he was in Maine, not California. So the first thing they had to do was help him find another hotel room, which they did. In the meantime, somebody had heard about what was going on with this German visitor who thought he was in San Francisco.
How old was he? I forget.
49.
Okay.
And this person called the Bangor Daily News because they thought it was a funny story. So, of course, so did the Bangor Daily News. And so they started writing about it. And a lot of people were reading about Erwin Kreutz.
Well, that's one of the major East Coast dailies is the Bangor Daily News.
Yeah.
For those of you not in the United States and believe that.
Well, people in Bangor
Yeah.
thought
Oh,
it was
yeah.
and he became somewhat of a local celebrity.
That's nice.
Here's what Erwin Kreutz got to do in Bangor due to his newfound celebrity status.
Bangor is an interesting name. Go ahead.
I know it is. He toured the county jail.
Okay. Did they tell him it was Alcatraz?
No.
Oh.
He was a guest of the Greater Bangor Chamber of Commerce at an Oktoberfest event.
Oh, that's fitting.
He
God,
became-
he's a brewer too.
Yeah.
Could have tips.
Yeah. He became an honorary member of the Penobscot Indian Nation and the Old Town Rotary Club.
Nice. Could
He-
not be more different in what
Nope.
they did on their weekends.
He was given a key to the city and a statue of Paul Bunyan.
He was given a statue of Paul Bunyan?
Yeah.
Well, that's weird.
Probably a little statue.
Okay.
He was kissed by Rockport's Andre the Seal, who was the unofficial harbor master.
Okay. That could happen in San Francisco too, but it's a sea
Yeah.
lion and it'll eat your face.
He received 3 marriage proposals. A local folk singer wrote a song about him. He visited with the secretary. Well, he had to take an airplane ride to Augusta, the
Okay.
capital,
That's an airplane ride
Yeah.
away from Bangor?
Yeah.
I would not think that.
where he met with the Secretary of State and Governor James Longley. The governor told him that he often wonders where he is too, and he completely understands how this happened.
That's scary.
I know. He turned 50 while he was there, and they threw him a 50th birthday party at McDonald's,
Okay.
where he was allowed to cook his own hamburger.
Really? Allowed.
Yeah.
Is that the word?
Well, he must have wanted to.
McDonald's was the best Bangor could do for his birthday. Come on.
One
Bangor.
article said that he was given a birthday party at a local restaurant.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
I don't know if
McDonald's.
word restaurant applies.
And the funnest part is that he got to make his own hamburger.
Would you want to make your own hamburger? at
Sure.
McDonald's? You sound like you would. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It started to become more than just local Bangor news. Lots of newspapers around the country of the United States started reporting on it. On the NBC Today show, the host Tom Brokaw called Bangor a great place because of the way they were treating Erwin Kreutz.
Bangor's getting some good pub, which I think went into their strategy here.
Yep. People described Erwin as impressed, grateful, and charming. And he said he was happy to see how Americans live in a small city, and he compared it to a Bavarian city near where he was from. Okay. He said he was ready to leave Germany and come live in the United States permanently. Oh. He liked it so much. Well, like I said, this was starting to become national news in the United States, and it was even international news. German newspapers, Der Spiegel.
Der Spiegel.
Yep, was reporting on it too.
It's German, by the way, for the Spiegel.
What does Spiegel mean? I don't know either. Well, San Francisco got wind of this, and they decided he needs to come to San Francisco.
Yes.
That's the whole reason why he came here. So the San Francisco Examiner, the newspaper, flew Erwin Kreutz out to San Francisco to be wined and dined by San Franciscans. I'm sure they were trying to outdo Bangor. Yeah. He was met at the airport by a crowd of reporters and a limousine. Oh. And he was given a bus tour of the city.
And ironically taken to a McDonald's.
A cable car ride. A boat tour of the bay.
Nice.
A tour of the city's best nightlife hotspots.
Okay. So why is he going to raves in San Francisco?
I don't know what it was like in 77.
Well, depends.
Yeah.
But it could be some fun.
Mayor Moscone presented him with a rivet.
George Moscone?
Uh-huh. That was used in the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge. Because, he was interested, and that was one of the main things he wanted to see when he came here.
Had a lot of rivets laying around still.
Probably.
From the 1930s. Or that have said, this was made in the Golden Gate Bridge. Not 2 years ago.
He attended a rodeo at the Cow Palace where he was introduced in the center ring and got a standing ovation by about 10,000 people.
Wow. He's becoming quite the celebrity.
Yeah. He learned to rope a steer.
I don't remember. We were little kids, but I have no recollection of hearing about this. We wouldn't have. We're some children, but still.
And
he actually went down and roped a steer?
He roped a steer, and they hoisted him up on a big quarter horse.
Have you ever tried to actually do a
Absolutely
lasso?
not.
I have. It's physically impossible. I think it's I think it's CGI when you see people do it. It's insane.
And he made it to San Francisco's Chinatown, where he was made an honorary member of the city's extended Wong family.
Okay.
He was given a scroll naming him Wong Erwin Kreutz.
Oh.
Nice, huh?
Yeah.
All of this happened in 3 days.
In San Francisco, not in Bangor. He was in Bangor.
Correct.
Do you have any idea how long he was in Bangor before he went to San Francisco?
Probably a few. It said initially he was there 3 days before he figured it out, and so it was probably a few days after that.
Because I'm just curious how long his vacation was. I mean, he has a job back in Germany.
I don't know.
But it's Europe. Get a lot more vacation time than we do here in America.
Yeah.
So.
Well, so he finally was put on a plane to go back to Germany, and the flight's crew gave him a forfeit sign that said, "Let me off at Frankfurt." Just in case he fell asleep again.
That's not a bad idea. I am going to start doing that.
When a reporter asked him if he left his heart in San Francisco, he replied, no, his heart would always belong in Bangor.
He replied with shock and aghast, like, what? Are you some kind of cannibals? Zombies? What's happening? Oh, I see. It's a metaphor.
When he got back to Germany, he continued to sing the praises of his new American friends.
Oh, now he's starting to piss people off.
He said, if Kennedy can say I am a Berliner, then I can say I am a Bangor.
Having no idea what he is really saying.
He said he never wanted to leave Bangor. And he said, you must say only wonderful, wonderful of what goes on in America. A year later, he did come back
To America.
to America in September 1978. He came back at the invitation of a new mall's owner, the Equitable Life Insurance Company.
In Bangor.
Yes.
Okay.
Invited him to return to cut the ribbon of a brand new Bangor mall. And he did this with Miss Maine.
Miss Maine.
Yeah. He had never even seen a shopping mall before.
Her bathing suit for the competition, Carrie? Made out of bear fur. Little known
Probably.
fact.
Yeah. So when he came back this time, he stayed with the Romines, the couple that owned the German restaurant. And this time he said he never wanted to go back to Germany.
Well, there's a thing called visas.
Yes.
Immigration.
Well, to help him, Billy and Helga Elwood. Billy had served in the army or in the military, I don't know what branch, in Germany. And Helga was born in Germany. And they lived in St. Francis, Maine, and they were getting ready to move to Virginia and selling their home. But they had some land, so they decided to gift him an acre of land up north in Maine, basically just south of the Canadian border.
And this would do what?
I don't know.
They thought that would help him become a citizen or a legal
Or just
immigrant?
help him immigrate.
Would it?
I don't know.
Seems like it shouldn't. I mean, with the whole huddled masses and thing, but still.
Yeah.
Having to own property would not be a great criteria for.
Well, it's not a criteria, but you have to have ties. You have to have a means of support, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
You have to have a sponsor, I believe.
Yeah.
So
All right.
anyhow, he actually did have to go back home. And when he got back home, he got fired. His boss wasn't happy with all that vacation he was
What?
taking.
From his job with the brewery?
Yeah. And they had been asking him to make public appearances without paying him to capitalize on his fame because he had a little bit of fame back home too.
Was it Vasteina? Do you
I
know
don't
his
know.
employer?
They never said.
Can you shame them? Because we can stop drinking them, which is easy for me because I don't like German beer. So.
Yeah. Well, the last straw for his boss was when he got interviewed by a local newspaper, and he was like sitting at a cafe or whatever drinking a beer, and it
In
was
Germany or
in
Bangor?
Germany.
Okay.
And it was their competition's beer, not his company's beer.
So he was like working for Miller and drinking Budweiser.
Something like that. But it was only because his beer wasn't available where he was.
Yeah, he wanted.
And he didn't have a car to get clear over to the
That's what he
pub
said
that
when he
had
was
his
caught.
beer.
Okay, but
So anyway, he did still want to come back. He had tried to get a job in the United States, but with his age, he was 50 by now, which, in
this
the
is
70s, I guess,
78.
Yeah.
It was super old. It was
Yeah.
50 was the then 40. Mm-hmm. So
No, 50 then was the now 40.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yes, 50 was the then 60, or even
Correct.
65, or
Yeah.
even like 100. But he was a master brewer from Germany, which is kind of famous for his beer brewing. You think he'd get a brewery job?
But he couldn't speak good enough English.
Oh, still, man. So he does sign language. You have an interpreter. This guy's a German brewmaster.
Well, the only job offer he got was to be a janitor at that mall.
30 years later,
And
he would have his pickings of a microbrew to go be their master brewer. It's
Yeah,
too bad. He
I
was
know.
a little before his time.
yeah, he was before his time. And nobody really knows what happened to him after that.
So he doesn't come back to the United States because he can't get a job.
Yeah.
And he just kind of disappeared in
Yeah.
Germany, huh? I think
He
was
said,
murdered.
he was
Should we
trying.
turn this into a murder mystery?
He was trying to get a new job in Germany. He did say, even after he lost his job, he didn't regret anything.
No,
He was
shouldn't.
still happy about his travels to the United States, and he still loved Bangor.
I'm surprised that he wouldn't have got a job in Germany. He had quite a bit of celebrity, but even in Germany, you said, right? So
Yeah.
that's surprising.
Yeah.
He probably did. Let's assume he did. We don't know. You lost track of him, right?
Yes.
You personally. And so let's assume
Yeah.
he got a job, a better company with a better boss who wasn't a dick,
Yeah.
and he lived happily ever
Yeah.
after.
And people did try to find him to find out what happened to him, and they just
Didn't try very
couldn't.
hard.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they did, but
It's Germany.
Stuff happens.
Doesn't seem like it'd be that hard.
yeah. But he wasn't married he wasn't married at the time, and had
see.
never had any children or anything. So,
I see.
so who knows? So that's the story. Isn't that cute?
It's a very cute story. Keith's the right word for it exactly. Yes. Story. You specialize in stories about cute things that befall people. I like that. Human interest stories, they call them.
That is
I
right.
like that. I like
Yep.
that. Thanks, Carrie. Thanks
You're
for
welcome.
that little weird bit
You're welcome.
about Erwin, the German who thought he was in San Francisco but was in Bangor. That's
Yep.
the title.
It's a great title. Okay, thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
See ya.